Well, hello to everybody and welcome to At the Movies with Dante and Louis. I'm Louis Jacobs.
And I'm Dante Louis.
Thanks for joining us today. We're going to be talking about a 2011 film called Take Shelter, which is now available on Amazon Prime. It's directed and written by Jeff Nichols, and it stars Michael Shannon and Jessica Chastain. And I had the best time with this. But let's start with Dante. Do you want to give us your little synopsis?
Yep, the IMDb synopsis is plagued by a series of apocalyptic visions. A young husband and father questions whether to shelter his family from a coming storm or from himself. Yeah.
It's all true. That's exactly what's happening. So tell me your thoughts on the plot.
It's a really interesting film, about the character's psychology, about what he's going through. Is this apocalyptic storm going to happen? Or is he just, he's going crazy?
Right. Is he going crazy? Is he imagining things? Or is he having some sort of premonition and we're about to experience that? The world is about to experience that. You don't.
Yeah. And, when I thought about this movie, it came out in 2011. And I remember back then, there was a lot of like doomsday prepper. Do you remember that? Like there was doomsday prepper shows. And I mean, 2012 was just a year away and everybody was afraid of that. So that was like kind of what was out there. People were thinking of that and there was something out.
Well, and then isn't it interesting? You saw it in 2011 and I've just watched it recently, just the other day. With everything that's happening in our society and has been happening, say for the last handful of years, the last 4 or 5 years, and things sort of being exposed so much. So there's a reason where a person would start to feel anxious and sort of confused and paranoid about things. So it's actually a good movie. I don't know what's happening in 2011 that you're commenting on, but it works for now too.
And also, like 2008 was kind of like, the financial struggles that happened then, I think were still being felt in 2011. And that's certainly a aspect that this character has to deal with,
Absolutely.
Financials and keeping his job. And, it's keeps you worried for the character.
Right. And to that point, let's talk about the characters a little bit. I'm a huge fan of Michael Shannon's. And I'll just say, I just think this performance is it's so rich and very quiet and gentle. And he lives in Ohio. Michael Shannon, I believe, is from Kentucky. So there's a sort of similar vibe there, I think. And so this man is raising a family, a wife and a child, a hearing impaired child. And you spoke about finances. They're trying to sort out, being able to afford with his work insurance, an operation. We know him from things like, I know him from a movie called Bug, which is fantastic. Also Shape of Water, he's amazing in.
Oh my God, I think that might be my favorite film with him in it, Shape of Water. Like I find he's such a unique looking, he's kind of very intimidating. I find like he can play a really good bad guy.
Sure.
Like, I wouldn't want to piss him off because he looks angry all the time.
Right, but in this film, isn't it an amazing sort of transition into an all-American, really super gentle family guy kind of?
Yeah, and I kind of felt like any moment he was going to snap. Like I was a little worried, and I think that's what the film is like trying to do.
Yeah, and then we have Jessica Chastain, who has been around for a little bit of a while now. She's certainly been working like a devil for a handful of years. Of course, we remember her from The Help. I remember her from The Help because her character in that film, the character of Celia, is bonkers, mad, crazy, and you just fall in love with her even just because.
Oh, she's a good cat, because I haven't seen that movie, but she's
Yeah.
not one of the awful racist people.
No, and she plays
Okay.
sort of a flouncy little bit of a tart, but is the most sympathetic character in the film.
I know her from, her big movie was Zero Dark 30, Catherine Bigelow's Hunt
Right.
for Bin Laden film. And
Yes.
yeah, and she won the Golden Globe for Best Actress in a Drama. This role is kind of different for
Right.
her.
Yeah, similar to the Michael Shannon performance.
Mhm.
It's very simple. It's very real. They live in this small town. Everybody knows each other. It's a very tight-knit community. And here's Jessica Chastain not being glamorous, not being anything, but it's dialed in on the reality of this family life in this town in Ohio. So
Yeah,
I
and she brings so much to this, she's just she's the wife character, and she's really there to kind of point out all the crazy stuff that Michael Shannon's doing, and how it's affecting not just him, but how it's affecting the family. And she sells those scenes, the drama and the heartbreak that she has, and the worry that she has for her family.
Yeah, that's a good. She loves, obviously they love their daughter, but you can tell she loves him too.
Mhm.
The opening scenes with the family are so sweet and gentle. The way they touch each other and communicate, it's a beautiful little situation there at the beginning. Who were some other characters that you
The other big character in the movie is played by Shea Wiggum. He plays the friend, I believe Dewart is his name.
Yeah.
And he's an actor. I know he was in True Detective as a preacher. And he's an actor I really enjoy in anything I see. And this, I think he does a lot with a smaller role, and he makes a good impression.
Right, and adds to the sort of layering of this small town community,
Mhm.
where you have your best bud that you work with and all of that sort of stuff that is real, I was interested in Kathy Baker playing his mother, playing Curtis's mother. That's Michael Shannon. She was diagnosed with paranoid schizophrenia when she was in her 30s, and so the character of Curtis is experiencing a similar thing, and he's very aware. She lives in an assisted living home. At first I was like, is that Kathy Baker? And then I realized it's Kathy Baker from, I have to say, Edward Scissorhands. She's a saucy little minx. She's the one who seduces him, Edward, in the beauty shop and picket fences. She was on picket fences for several years. Yeah, love it. And then, so he's on this journey of paranoia, and his visions are amazing. Storms and tornadoes and rain, thunder. It's all very frightening.
And people kind of losing their minds. There's that one vision where his daughter gets somebody busts into their car and pulls her away. So it's not just this natural disaster. There's something more to it.
Yeah,
that scared me. That was those dream sequences were so creepy and very terrifying, I found.
Mm-hmm.
They were subtle.
Right.
They weren't like crazy out there dreams, but it had a dreamlike quality to it, and it was terrifying.
Right, and that's where I think the film succeeds in such a great way, is that there aren't 4,000 bells and whistles and no special effects really. It's just the way Jeff sort of captures, like you said, terrifying things that aren't too graphic or out there, but just enough to make you go, what is this guy? What's happening?
Yeah.
What did you think about the ending?
It kind of presents an idea that there's two different ways you can take this film. You can take it that his visions are real, and that he should be worried. He should be building this storm shelter. And then there's the other that he's schizophrenic, that it's mental. But I don't find the whole movie supports both of those conclusions. For me, it leans heavily into that it's all in his mind. And just because, the film says that some of these visions could be brought on by stress, and for him, this moment in time that we're introduced to the character, it's a very stressful time for him, So I really think it's in his mind. What did you think?
I think that's the beauty of the screenplay and the story, is that it is ambiguous, and the takeaway is subjective depending on how you're looking at it. In any case, it asks questions, so that makes it sort of a brilliant film, because you walk away with questions about yourself or somebody else. And
for me, I feel like I wish there was more throughout the film saying that it could be real. I wish there was more hints. I wish there was a little more like things beneath the surface where I can go back and watch again and pick out these little like details, like, oh, okay, and now I believe it could be real. For me, that it was just the last scene that does that, as opposed to the whole film.
Right. For the most part, you certainly care about the family, you care about his best friend. The scene with the boss, where the boss has to sort of let him go, even that scene is played so realistically. It's not like a villain he says, sorry, man, you took our company equipment, and like, what were you thinking,
Yeah, because like throughout the film you have the dread of this storm that could be coming, and you also have, they set up that his daughter is only getting the implant because of his work insurance. So you have that dread throughout the film, that thing in the back of your throat that he's gonna lose his job, his daughter's not gonna get the implant, and Jessica Chastain is going to leave him, his family's going to fall apart too. So you have both those things that he could lose, the dangers,
Right.
And that's what I love. That's what I like about the movie.
The slippery slope of it all. Well, I'm going to just jump in and say I recommend the film. I think it's beautifully acted. It's not a huge action adventure. It's more of a psychological thing to follow, but it's rooted in so much love, and in this town, in this community where everybody's kind of family. Real quick, you talked about the scene where he explodes whatever at the Lion Club. Most of the community is there, and they're having their sort of luncheon, and you're absolutely right. He's amazing in that scene, because he finally does explode, and he wants to tell them, the people, his friends, his family, that you're not prepared, and you have to be prepared because it's coming.
Yeah, that was a great. I don't know if that was one of your favorite scenes.
That was my favorite scene. I just love it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's like, because it's building up to that the whole movie, and he's great in it. And I would also definitely recommend this. I would say it might not be for everybody. It's 2 hours. I don't know if it needs to be 2 hours. I think it could probably be shorter. And that might be that.
Even want to watch today.
That's what might not be for everybody. But if you want a really good character piece about somebody's psychology and somebody's dealing with mental illness possibly, I would say watch this film. It's has a great performance. Michael Shannon's amazing. Jessica Chastain, great. I think the direction is pretty good. It was one of his early films, and I'm looking forward to his next whatever he does next. I know he's doing a Quiet Place spin-off, so I'm interested in seeing what he brings to that franchise.
Right.
So I would recommend it.
Yeah, Jeff Nichols is he's the man to watch. as well as Michael Shannon and of course Jessica. So yeah, we agree. Yay! Thank you at home for watching At the Movies. We're in our little discussion of Take Shelter, which is available now on Amazon Prime. For At the Movies with Dante and Louis, I'm Louis Jacobs.
And I'm Dante Louis.
And we'll see you next time. So long.
Hana.